So on to our next speaker, Fawzi Baroud, who I can see there. He is the Assistant Vice President for Information Technology at the Notre University Louaize in Lebanon and holds the UNESCO Chair on OER and Open Educational Resources for Access and Success. Hello, Fawzi.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Tim, for this introduction. Yeah, I come from a private university in Beirut, Lebanon. Now, hot those days, the south of Lebanon, as you all know, hoping for the good. My university is a small university compared to our colleagues. We're a private university adopting the American system of study. And you can see my screen, Tim, right?
Perfectly well, thank you.
Yeah. I'm the Assistant Vice President for Information Technology and the UNESCO Chair on OER for Access and Success. What I will do in my presentation, I will share with you the work I've been doing in Lebanon and in the Middle East. This is from a different perspective. Just to briefly, acquaint our audience about, the higher education institution in the MENA region or in the Middle East. We have a diversity of institutions which, we differ them either by sector, we say public, non-public, non-profit universities, by affiliation. They are affiliated with the Ministry of Education or Higher Education or maybe other ministries. We have different ones, by status, like universities, colleges, technical institutes, community colleges, or by model, like for example, my institution, it adopts, the American system of study. But in Lebanon, you find also the French system of study or the German system of study, so on and so forth. And of course, we have the cultural reference also. This is an Islamic institution, or this is a Christian institution, or non-religious. So this is generally, how the diversified, different type of universities in the Middle East. The issue, like the OER issue, this is our topic, is that if you look in the Middle East, in Lebanon and the Middle East, we don't have, a lot of information about, the awareness and the perceived utility of open education resources in teaching, learning, and research. Okay, and if we look for data, you don't find much data. It's scant. It's very, very, very a small amount of data concerning open education resources. We have also a lack of inter-regional collaboration. I'm talking about our area, the Middle East area. And of course, we have a culture of protecting learning and teaching resources behind firewalls and passwords. This is, what dominates our landscape. Okay, so those are some of the issues that we have. So let me start, how my journey, I will share, how I started with this OER initiative at Notre University, my institution. I participated as a project in the United States called the Open Book Project that was back in 2014, where about 15 leaders from the Middle East were invited to the United States to understand more about this open movement thing, what's happening in big institutions in the United States, like MIT, like Google, so on and so forth. And the objective of this open book project, which are jointly initiated by the State Department and by Alexo, which is the Arab League Educational, Cultural and Scientific Organization. And the objective was to raise awareness of the potential of OER and promote uptake of online learning material, supporting the creation of Arabic language open education resources, and of course, to offer training for government official educators, so on and so forth. This is, that was back in 2014. As my colleague Zainab discussed in her presentation, I do believe that the UNESCO 2019 recommendation that was initiated. It is a historic document. Why it is a historic document? Because as Zainab said, 193 countries, voted on this recommendation, where, we have 5 areas of action, from building capacity to supporting policies, encouraging inclusive and equitable quality of art, so on and so forth. And of course, in this recommendation, that I advise that everyone go and look at this recommendation. They have defined for us, they gave us 2 important definitions. One is for open education resources and open licenses. I want to emphasize here that all my work in Lebanon and the Arab region is well aligned with the UNESCO OER recommendation. Let me start with what we have done at my institution and how did I start this initiative and where we are now. First of all, I started with awareness and capacity building. I am always on the go, giving workshops, on a daily basis since 2014. And this is a very important step, involving all community, from faculty, staff, students, I'm going to classes, where you find all students, to tell them about open education resources, open textbook, open access, all those things. And of course, I conducted so many workshops for the library and the library staff, because I do believe that library can play a very important role in advocating for open education resources. Then what we have done is we started a pilot project with one of the faculties. Our university has 7 faculties, which is the Faculty of Humanities. And this pilot and the result of the pilot and the data that we received from students and the instructor who were teaching using OER instead of traditional textbook was very positive and encouraging. That's why we expanded the scope to other faculties. Now we have open education resources and open textbook in the physics department, mathematics departments, in the engineering department at all levels. So it was, this initiative was a very successful initiative at the university level. Moving on, before we move on to other levels, my strategy simply, I used, as I said, posters and multimedia, awareness and capacity building, individual discussion with faculty member, conference presentation. I send a lot of emails, announcement for our community, so on and so forth. And of course, using the web and the social media. That was, just my strategy in advocating for OER. What are some of the lessons that I have learned, supporting OER at the university level, at my university? First of all, the faculty members should be convinced about the benefits of OER. Why I want to use OER? Why I have to waste my time, trying to find resources, open textbooks, so on and so forth, while, I can just, assign one of the traditional textbooks. So you have to convince them about why it is important to use open education resources. Another important point is the quality of OER, and this is a very hot topic between faculty members, asking about where do we find the quality resources. Another point, and very important, is the collaboration between faculty members with common interests. For example, if you have different faculty members teaching the same subject, it's very important for them to collaborate on this topic that they are teaching using open education resources. And of course, you need to support faculty members, because they need the right tools, the technology, so on and so forth, and of course the appropriate training. So I can say from my experience throughout the year that, supporting effective OER adoption at a university, at an institution, it is a difficult task. You have to believe in it, but I can tell you it's not an impossible task to do. All right. So at the institution level, if I want to recommend something, OER policy is very important, and this is what we are doing now. The OER, it's in our strategic plan at the university, and we formed a committee we are working on an OER policy, and hopefully by January, February, we'll have an OER policy at the institution level. Incentive for instructor. Incentive, it doesn't have to be monetary incentive. It can be, for example, releasing course release, as we call it. Yani, for example, you tell a professor, you know, if you prepare your course using open education resources or open textbook, then, you know, we will relieve you from teaching one course per semester, so on and so forth. And of course, you need a strategy to how to involve all stakeholders at your university. Now, this is at the institution level. This is what they have done so far, and it proved to be a very successful. And I can say that we have a culture of openness now at Notre Dame University. Now, I said, okay, that's not enough. I have to move and transfer the knowledge we have to other universities in Lebanon and other universities in the Arab region. That's what we have done. We have signed a memorandum of understanding between our university and the Center for Education Research and Development. And the Center of Education Research and Development is the right arm of the Ministry of Education and Higher Education in Lebanon. They are in charge of designing, creating, training the curriculum for K to 12 student. So that's what we have done. So what I have done, you know, I conducted maybe more than 30 workshops, capacity building for the trainers at this center, for instructor, all levels, so that they will understand what's open education is, what OER is, so on and so forth. And the result of this MOU between our university and the Center of Education Research and Development, now they have developed an OER policy. I was supervising this initiative, and they have an OER policy in English and in Arabic, which it's available on their website. They have now an OER quality guide in English and Arabic, and of course they have an OER production workflow. If somebody wants to create an OER, what are the steps that he has to or she has to follow to create an OER? Now, I don't know if you can, if I open one of the screens, I don't know if you can see. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Tim?
Not yet.
Can you see the policy on the screen, Tim?
No, I can see the links on the slide. Maybe you have to change your active window.
Okay, it's because it's not shared. That's fine. So I wanted, you know, like to show you a little bit the different documents, but that's fine. Maybe we don't have time. At the national level, my next move will be to introduce the open education and open movement and open resources for the technical and vocational training. And this is hopefully after New Year, will be my next target. At the regional level, when I say regional level, I'm saying, you know, the countries surrounding Lebanon, for example, Egypt, Sudan, Kuwait, Oman. You know, I've been everywhere giving a workshop, you know, awareness campaign about open education resources. And what we have done with UNESCO Cairo office, you know, we have developed an online course, which is, you know, gonna be in Arabic, which follows what we call the UNESCO ICT CFT framework. And the ICT CFT framework, it is a competitive framework, but the important thing about this course that we have developed is it is contextualized to the Egyptian market, to the Egyptian teachers' needs in Egypt. And I will not go through the ICT CFT, but it is the result of this online course, and the content will be all based on open education resources. And this project and this course, you know, will be used by in-service and pre-service teacher in K-12 in Egypt. So those are the different modules of the course, like module 2, the power of openness using OER and open license in education. It's going to be in English and in Arabic. Those are the modules. I will not go through the details of the module, but that's it on the regional level. Now, at the international level, okay, and I want to emphasize that anything I'm doing here, it is aligning well with the UNESCO recommendation, from awareness capacity building to creation of the policy to international collaboration. And recently, our colleague in the before noon, he talked about this, Colin. We are part now of a network of shareholders with different universities, 16 universities, international, from France, Brazil, Canada, Germany, New Zealand, Tunisia, all over, and of course from Spain, that this network, which will be officially announced very soon. It was approved by UNESCO. The objective of this UNITWIN network is the knowledge sharing about open education between all those institutions at the international level, promote community building, generate quality research activities and programs, and of course, cooperation with UNESCO on a variety of programs and activities. My future direction is to share our OER initiative and experience at the national, regional, and international level. I am in the process of launching a research mechanism for Lebanon and the MENA region to measure the effectiveness and efficiency of OER, but I'm doing it on the regional level, and of course, continue the advocacy for OER in Lebanon and the MENA region to reach its full transformative potential for supporting the realization of SDG 4. This is, also I'm managing this OER Lebanon website, oerlab.org, where, there are so many resources there, but the most important is, and this is my objective, is to collect resources and documents about OER in Arabic language. So I don't know if we have time, Tim. I wanted to share a video, 2 minutes video, if I have time. If not, that's okay.
No, it's okay. If you promise it's only 2 minutes.
It is 2 minutes, yeah.
Yes,
But
it's
I
all
don't
right.
know if I don't know if I shared the sound.
Actually, Uncle has said that your video will be on the online proceedings of this event. So I think actually to keep the strict timelines, I'd ask you not to do that now. But
Okay. So that's fine. That's fine. So, well, actually, this video about Notre Dame University. The important thing about this video, after all this work that we have done at our institution, you can hear the chairperson, the deans, the instructors, and the students testimonials about, after using open education resources, open textbook, what they are saying. So that's fine, they can find it on YouTube.
Thank you very much.
This is all for now, and this is my email and my Twitter account, and this is the reference to oerlebanon.org. Thank you, Tim, and
thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was very impressive. I think also being the assistant vice president has helped you to actually move these kinds of initiatives along, because for a base level teacher, that's not always the case, but nonetheless, it's very good. And I had several questions coming up, and I think you've answered all of them. I was particularly impressed by the way you actually incentivize the teachers by offering them to reduce teaching load if they produce OERs. And I think that could give us a long conversation on that topic, but I'm going to resist the temptation. Thank you very much.